Alright, so today I've been challenged by peeps to make a crepe cake. I've made crepes once. They were great. I've never had a crepe cake. I've only had crepes once when I made them. So yeah, and it's going to be a creme brulee cake for the challenge. So I'm gonna put, to start off, we're gonna do the pastry cream, which will be the cream in the middle of the layers of crepes. So there's 2 cups of milk, and I'm going to add to that 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Whisk that a little bit and add just a bit of salt. Then fit this in. Then I've got 4 egg yolks here. I'm going to add, I forgot to add the sugar to that. 1/4 cup of sugar to the milk.
And what temp are you putting that on the stove at?
Medium high.
Okay.
With milks, you always want to be cautious whenever they're even near the stove. They like to get rambunctious. Okay, so here I've got 4 egg yolks, a little bit. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of sugar. If you've seen my creme brulee recipe, you know that usually when I'm beating eggs, I don't add the sugar, but with this, I am, just because you're looking for a different consistency. Then a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. Cornstarch is like the messiest thing in the kitchen.
Amen to that.
Mix it around. Add just a little bit of salt. You don't want it too sweet because the cake that is too sweet isn't that good, if you ask me, that is. So, if you ever made macaroons or know this trick, because I've never made macaroons and I just know this trick is, you can, laced with this as well, and macaroons, is if you can make a figure 8 with the dough, or batter I guess, it's good, which it looks like this can. I'm gonna just continue whisking it, because it'll make tempering the eggs easier. So, I'm gonna see how hot this is. It's not hot enough. Turn it up just a little bit.
You're not stirring that at all?
I can, I guess.
No, I'm asking. I've never made crepes.
I find that as long as you just keep an eye on it, it's fine.
Okay, so this is not actually the crepe.
Yeah, this is the pastry cream in between.
Okay.
It'll give it sort of your creamy, well, fluffy, I don't know. Never had crepe cakes, I don't know what they're supposed to be like. I assume they're like a crepe, not a crepe, a cake. So basically what I'm looking for is, if you've ever made a ganache, I believe it is. It's ganache or mousse. One of those.
Ganache.
When you're heating the cream, basically how hot we want it is to put your finger in there, be able to hold it in for like 1 second, then yeah.
Then it being too hot to hold any longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't burn yourself. Take my word for it. Not quite yet.
So,
We'll see when that's ready. Okay, so our milk is hot, like me. So I'm gonna start tempering the eggs. If you've seen the creme brulee, I did that also in that English. So you want to aim for about a quarter not teaspoon, cup. And tempering the eggs just gets it used to the eggs used to the idea that they'll be hot.
but without scrambling them.
Yeah. No one wants scrambled eggs cake frosting.
No.
So I'm gonna continue pouring this in slowly, and we'll see you then. Okay, so I've got it all in here, I guess. So I'm gonna sieve it, something like that.
Pour it through a sieve.
Pour it through a fine mesh sieve. Then I'm going to scrape it down the sides, just to make sure you don't leave anything left. And again, this is the first time making this, so I have no idea how it's gonna turn out. So then we put this back on heat. When it's then we will add 2 tablespoons of butter. We're using softened butter just because I think that's a good idea. Again, I have no idea. And there are a lot of bubbles. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Just following.
I think it's a good thing.
Okay. Following the recipe. So we're gonna let this sit for a little bit on medium heat, and we'll be back.
What are you trying to achieve?
The butter melted, and I don't know what else,
Just melt the butter.
I guess. Okay, so like nothing has happened. The bubbles have decreased slightly, and so I reread the recipe. At the bottom it mentioned that if there's bubbles on the top, you should just wipe them away, I guess, with a paper towel. So that's what I'm doing. And it said it should be thick, like really thick. Which, I mean, I don't think we're quite there, because it barely coats the back of the spoon.
The bottom is very thick.
Oh, okay. That's why I have my mom.
Sorry, buddy.
Well, the bottom is thick enough. Okay, so that's more what we're looking for.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna bring that over here and run it through the sieve again. Oh yeah, that's definitely what we're looking for. Whisk this through. And this crepe recipe will, well, crepe cake recipe and crepes. Yeah, all of this will probably take at least one day, because the pastry cream has to sit overnight, and the crepe batter, I guess, should sit. I find that it's good if it sits overnight. Again, I've only made crepes once, and I made one crepe the night that I made the batter, and the crepes that in the morning were much easier to flip, I'd say. So we'll be making that batter right after this.
So is this the last step on the cream?
Well, until tomorrow, yes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna mix it around. So what I'm gonna do is grab some plastic wrap, and this is a technique that I... Okay, so I was saying that that's a technique that I had discovered. This is a technique that I had discovered when I made pudding for the first time. They said to cover it with the surface on the cling film, and it just keeps it creamier. That's what they said. I guess it works. The puddings I've made is creamy, so. So next, we'll be doing crepe batter after that, but I've got to get a few things prepared. Okay, I need something to mix with. Okay, so we're gonna do the crepe batter now. It is a pretty simple thing. I need measurements. Goodness, it is my bedtime. Okay, so I'll need...
Are you doing math? Do we need to call Miss Bryson?
No. Okay, so after that pause so I could get my stuff together, I'm gonna add 2 cups of milk. Not bad. Put in 2 cups of milk.
Start with 2 cups of milk?
Well, generally it just takes 2 cups of milk if you do it a certain way. Then add 3 eggs. You said 2 cups of milk. And it is important that you do it this way of having the wet ingredients in one place. I hope I didn't get any shell in there.
So you have to prepare your wet ingredients.
Yes.
Very important.
Except for butter, which is melted, so technically it's wet. So then you'll mix this around. Then you will add...
Sift
1 3/4 cup of flour. Yeah, 3/4. And it's crepes.
Obviously not an exact.
Yeah. Crepes are very do it by something. I'm gonna sift this and we'll be back. Okay, so I've got this sifted. See, you can sit that. Then I'm gonna pour the wet ingredients in. So the last time, also known as the first time I made this, I did get shell in here. That's a little tip. If you put your whisk at the bottom, you'll catch any shell that you get. I added the eggs to the flour, and so it got super chunky. So I'm thinking that adding the eggs to the milk and then the flour, it'll help it not be super chunky. I had to put it through that like 5 times so that it was nice and
Smooth.
yeah. But it's still kind of chunky. So I don't know. If you know what I'm doing wrong, comments below.
If you can, comment
if you
below.
I've been having that problem sometimes. Okay, so I'm gonna be back and continue with Scott. Okay, so got it mixed. Still gonna sieve it. It's actually pretty smooth now. So I'm gonna add 5 tablespoons of butter to this. Mix it around. And crepes are French, which I didn't know until I made them. I always thought they were Dutch. I don't know why. I just did. So I'm gonna add about...
Let me hold.
Then I'll be sieving this, and we'll come back when it's done sieving. Okay, so it's gotten sieved. It's nice and smooth. So you'll cover it the same way you covered the pastry cream and set it in the fridge till morning.
Or whenever we put this together.
Yeah. Okay, we're back today because life got crazy with school, and I was not able to get back to it till tonight. That's fine, because I'm able to sit longer. So it's cold, and I'm gonna mix that around. I'll show you the crepe batter first. Usually it'll separate. Well, the last time I made these, it separated. I just mix it around. It doesn't look like it's separated. So yeah, I'll whip this and we'll be back.
Whip it with a
Whisk.
You're not going to put it on a machine of any kind?
It's quicker with pastry cream.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you could, but it
Alright.
won't take that long. Okay, so I've got the cream whipped, and I'll show you that after we fry up a crepe.
I'll show him that now.
Okay.
It grew.
Okay, so I've got some canola oil. I use canola oil just because crepes have always worked. The one time I made crepes, they worked differently. The recipes always tell you to do it with butter and a little bit, just to keep it from getting soggy and heavy.
Butter and a little bit of what?
Just a little bit of butter.
Oh, okay.
And I found that it wasn't soggy, even with a bunch of butter, and I found that canola oil works better. Well, vegetable oil or canola oil. I mean, I guess you could use olive oil if you wanted, but if you're doing a savory crepe. So I'm going to let that warm up just a little bit. Keep it moving a bit. Then I also do a bit thicker crepes because I don't have very good luck on my flipping skills. So I actually spreaded the crepe batter out with my spatula. It's probably gonna need a bit more. Okay, so when this starts doing what it's needing to do, we'll be back.
That took like 10 seconds.
Well, yeah, so the sides are beginning to cook, and what you want to do is run a spatula along the sides. I mean, you've got quite a bit of oil underneath it, so it shouldn't stick, but there's always that possibility. With that extra batter, I just spread it out. It's the thickness that I do my crepes. They're a bit thick, and I think I'm actually going to spoon out a bit of batter. Just a little too much.
Keeping it real.
Yep.
So do you use that spatula or a different one to flip?
I use the spatula. I just find it works really well.
That spatula?
Yes.
Oh.
And also make sure that your spatula has a lot of bendy part for scraping along the sides. I find it makes it quite a bit helpfuler. That's what
Okay, I have to tell you that's a much thicker crepe than you did first time.
Okay, well. Yeah, I think so.
Try again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, attempt numero dos. I'm going to heat up the oil a bit more than I did. Was it better? That's much less than last time.
Is this where I use your current favorite phrase?
Agree to disagree. At least I'm agreeing. Spread it out a bit more. Got a bit of a hole, I'll fix that with a bit of batter. So if you do get a hole, I like to spoon in the batter.
Yeah, I think that's going to be much better. Much thinner.
Yep. So I think it's ready to flip.
Beautiful!
And remember, we're covering this with bruleed sugar. At least that's the plan. So, doesn't need to look good. Just needs to taste good. Don't quote me on that. Okay, so I think it's ready. So what I do is I just slide it off.
Ta-da!
I'll be here for a little bit making crepes. We'll be back. Okay, so today was not my day for crepes.
I think they look great.
They look great. I didn't get that many. 1, 2,
It's okay. It's okay. Just put the cake together.
4, 5. I got 5 crepes.
6.
6. I counted that.
Oh, I thought you didn't.
5 or 6 crepes out of this. Usually it makes 10 to 13 crepes. So I'm gonna start with this one, just because it's at the top. And I'm gonna add about a 1/4 cup, I'm thinking, street cream. Got my turntable and my cake board. To smooth this out, I'm going to go for a bit more of the sugar. pastry cream. Okay, then onto the next layer. As I said, today was not my crepes. We'll be back when we have all these layered.
This kid is resilient and puts up with a lot. Don't you, babe?
Amen.
Amen. All right. Give it to us.
Okay, so this is my best crepe, or at least I think it is.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put it on the top, and then I'll stick this in the fridge. I can't ideally, but currently it's 9, so I'm gonna stick it in the freezer for 10-20 minutes.
Should we fridge and start again in the morning?
I mean, we could.
I don't think we're gonna eat any of it tonight, are we?
Probably not. Okay, so we'll stick it in the fridge overnight. You could probably stick it in there for an hour-ish, and we'll be back in the morning. Breakfast.
Because you want to creme brulee it or something.
Well,
what are you
We're
doing?
supposed to keep it cool. Like, the crepes are still hot. That's warmed up a bit.
Oh.
We're running it cold. Oh, it's very early in the morning, in my opinion, at least. So I'm gonna put this bowl here so that we can get a nice finished round shape. Supposedly you can see the layers. Looks like you can see them.
Yes, you can. You're kind of globby over here, though. A little bit. Oh, they're beautiful. Good morning, son.
Okay. Well, we're gonna brulee the top of this. That's because it wouldn't be a creme brulee crepe cake without a brulee top.
So brulee means
Burn.
not burn sugar, just burn.
Yes, just burn.
Okay, so you're gonna burn the top of this lovely cake. That's fantastic.
If you brulee pineapples, which is very common, depending on if it's a dessert or as a side, you may or may not actually put sugar on it. It is important when you're bruleeing things and you have sugar, to have the sugar at an even consistency.
Like an even layer of sugar.
Barbara again.
Do you want to film all of this, or?
We'll be back when this is bruleed.
But you can see it's nice golden brown.
Okay, so I've got it finished torching. Quick word of caution. Anything that is not covered in sugar will burn, like that piece there.
I can't even see it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yep.
Just quick word of caution. So I'm gonna stick this in the fridge for just 10 minutes, let it cool off a bit.
And then what are we doing?
and I'll show you the end product.
Perfect.
Okay, so it's been sitting in the fridge for a little bit, so cut into it. Where's this? Don't think I got it all the way through.
Oh, you should have.
It's not entirely set.
Obviously. Sorry, I may have rushed you.
Gonna sprinkle it with a bit of blue sugar, which is kind of my iconic dessert garnish. And this blue sugar, it's just water, blue food coloring, and sugar.
All right, you need more coffee. Are you taking a bite or are you
Yeah,
good?
I'll take a bite.
Let's see if he makes a funny face or if it's absolutely fantastic.
It's pretty good. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with your friends. Bye.